And how do you feel about that? You don't get credit for creating this extraordinary platform of freedom of speech. People just think of you as a guy with a naughty sex mag.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think I'm a seedy old guy in the basement of a building grinding out pornography every day. But I care about my country, and they accuse me of hiding behind the First Amendment. Well, I'm just thankful that it was there to hide behind. But I always did feel, Stephanie, that free speech is only important if it's offensive. If you're not going to offend anybody, you don't need the protection of the First Amendment. And that's why it's magazines like Hustler and other venues that need protection of the First Amendment.
Where does the responsibility lie? So because of freedom of speech, you can put it out there. You can publish as lewd and naughty stuff as you want, and there's an audience for it. But do you hold any accountability or responsibility now that so much of it can be in the hands of young people who maybe shouldn't see that kind of stuff?
I just think that's a false argument to say that you're exposed to anything and it's going to adversely affect you. There's people that grow up in a variety of environments, and they turn out quite well. But if we have to concern ourselves because of every movie we make or every picture we take, the adverse effect that it's going to have on an individual, I think that has a real chilling effect on free speech.
And a lot of Western values are under assault today. There's primarily the assault on free speech, which is coming in from everywhere. And you and your work at Hustler and everything else, we've been a champion of free speech. So I'd like to start by talking about some of these assaults. You made a profound statement about the Charlie Hebdo attack, where a bunch of Muslim terrorists walked into a French magazine, shot up 13 people, killed 13 people. And the response of so many other people in the media was, well, they shouldn't have provoked them, maybe they shouldn't have pushed them. Isn't the whole idea of free speech that you should be able to say whatever you want to without getting your head blown off for it?
Absolutely. I thought the way the mainstream media laid down on that was a disgrace. It was a very cowardly act because, you know, we fought so hard for free speech, and freedom's not free. You pay a price for everything, and the price you pay to live in a free society is toleration. You got to tolerate things that you don't necessarily like so you can be free. And freedom of speech is not freedom for the thought you love, it's a freedom for the thought you hate the most. When you can stand on the dais beside someone and disagree with everything they say that makes your blood boil, then, you know, you've earned your right to say that you're for free speech. Once you capitulate, yeah, it's over. You know, you have to push back. You know, you know that repressive forces tend to take over when you allow it. See, what people tend to forget that free speech is only important if it's offensive. If it's not offensive, it don't need protection of the First Amendment.
Correct.
So that's where the clash comes. When you offend somebody with your position or your rhetoric, they try to label it hate speech or this kind of speech or that kind of speech. But it all boils down to censorship.